can barely see me, but I low-key feel like the vibes are here. I really feel like I'm having an incredibly enlightening moment right now, and it has been developing for the last like couple of days. And this is one of those personal realizations that has taken me months to understand. And I don't think I could have gotten to this point if I had not taken a break from therapy. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying that in a way as like, when I have a therapist, I tend to wait to solve any of my personal problems until I get to talk to them. So I'm lacking the ability to self-soothe and reflect and understand. And I was waiting until I could get confirmation from a therapist that what I was thinking was correct, when I didn't need that. What I needed was time to myself to prove to myself that I can change my own life and that I can make things happen and have like personal trust within myself. Some things happen in life where that can be broken, and it takes a really long time to rebuild it within yourself. And I think this week was the moment that it happened. And I wanted to read what I just wrote in my journal because I don't write daily in my journal. I don't sit and say everything I'm grateful for, because I don't personally think that that is as beneficial to someone who's been journaling for a long time. Like, it doesn't serve the same purpose that it used to, if that makes sense. And it doesn't mean I'm not grateful for what I have in my life, or grateful for the way that my life is, or just so on. It means that I can have that deep understanding of gratefulness within myself when I wake up every day without having to write it down on paper. So instead, I go further than that. And when I have a realization about myself, I can sit and I can journal about it. And it doesn't have to be about the things I'm grateful for. It can be anything else. So it's really cool. But I figured I would read this because I want my YouTube account and I want my Instagram to be a place where people can collect confidence and see that someone their age is also going through the same thing. Like, I'm gonna be 25 next month, and I had a really hard year in 2024. It was an incredibly, I would not say enlightening, like, it was a very dark year for me, and it was tough. I didn't know I didn't know how to trust myself, and I didn't know what I was doing with my life. Like, it was like a full reset, except like I had gone down a rabbit hole of like depression, essentially. And I think that I'm on the other side of it now, at least today. And so I'm gonna read this out loud because I think it's important that, especially with the way that the world is right now, which is really scary, I think it's important to share the positive things because it's a big deal. So I always start my journal with the month, the date, and then the day and the time, because it's when you reflect and you go back and look at certain things, it's important to know, I think. So I started with, I am so proud of myself. I've come to a deep understanding within myself that I couldn't find for so long. I couldn't trust myself for so long. Like, I had to say it twice because I literally could not believe that this is what my life has been. I believed that I had done something so wrong and that I couldn't come back from it. So I had broken the trust within myself. It was severed. It was gone. Deep down, I couldn't shake the feeling no matter what I told myself over and over. And that comes from an entire year of being with a therapist and having an incredibly supportive partner and having all of the things in the world that would make you think, oh, like she's probably like having a great time. Like, I did all sorts of fun stuff over the summer, but at the end of the day, it comes down to how you feel in your mind alone. How do you feel in your brain? Like, that is the biggest deal. And if you don't feel good, it does not matter what is going on in your life. However good, it doesn't matter. It won't change unless you personally feel good. And so that's why this is so important to me right now. I've come to the realization that I am the success. I am the feeling of accomplishment. I am owed respect from myself. I've been comparing myself to an old/past version who was so confident and sure of herself. That's nodding at myself from 2023 when I was living alone in an apartment or studio by myself, and I had convinced myself that I had peaked in life, that I had figured it out, that I had finally understood what it meant to be the most confident version of myself. I was like skinnier than I am now. I was working a lot. I was making enough money to save money. And so I was constantly feeling a lot of accomplishment and within myself. And so I obviously gained a lot of trust within myself. Anyways, but I lost her when I failed at this fabricated dream. I won't get into the details of that, but I had a whole idea that led me to Oregon. And that's fine. Sometimes life takes you in certain ways, and sometimes there's certain things that need to happen in order to convince you that what you're doing is correct. Because making a big change, like moving to an entirely different state where you know nobody, is really scary. And so sometimes you need that like fabricated dream, that idea that this is going to be the way that it is, when you can never predict how anything is going to go. There is no possible way to do it. Some things in life aren't meant to teach you what you may think they are, and that is a very hard pill to swallow. I will be 25 in a month, and I want to enter this next chapter closer to God, closer to my own personal confidence, and separating my worth from worth from my occupation while also recognizing my strengths. I say that because as a 25-year-old who tried and ended up dropping out of college multiple times because I couldn't find the value in what it is that I was doing, and I also have a learning disorder, and so those two things combined lead to a lot of moments of failure. And so I have had a really hard time growing up and going through my 20s trying to figure out what my purpose is. And I've said in a past video that purpose is made from life experience. So you can't know what your purpose is without finding out, So I also wrote, romanticize life. See life for what it is while enjoying what you have. Everything happens for a reason and is all within divine timing. And patience is a motherfucking virtue. I have been telling myself this for the last 3 years, and it still just doesn't make sense to me, because I am what I feel like is one of like the least patient people in the world. And I said that to my boyfriend the other day, and he laughed because he also agrees with me. I may look confident on the internet. I may act a certain way because we all want to have an image on the internet, right? But at the end of the day, we're all human and we all go through really flipping hard shit. And when you can come on the internet and you can talk about it and you can spread like just optimism that like it's okay to go through really hard things, because there's always another side to it. No matter what it is that you go through, there will always be another side. And I just really wanted to share that, because if I felt the need to start sharing my voice on the internet, and so I'm not going to get scared of that. I'm going to take it by the reins and do what I feel like is my purpose, which is just following my intuition and following my heart. And that involves reading out certain parts of my journal on the internet, because I feel like it could help somebody, because I just helped myself in a way that I haven't been able to do for a really long time. And that is super important to me. And I've also been seeing 444 a lot lately, and that's my angel number. So it's just like, it's one of those moments where I feel like called to to just be as, vocal and optimistic as possible, because this world needs more of that, in my opinion. So take that how you will.